So guys, over the past 7 days, I've actually made over 21,000 US dollars, and about 97-ish% of that is just sheer profit. I want to break down exactly how I've done this, but not only that, but I'm going to extrapolate this into how you can actually implement what I'm doing in my consulting business for your social media marketing agency, and why this works for any kind of service-based business, right? And I'm going to be breaking down specifically in this video warm outreach versus cold outreach, and why I genuinely think you should be focusing on warmer outreach methods such as content marketing, well, leveraging content anyway. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to become a YouTuber or one of these big gurus or anything like that, or like try to blow up on YouTube and just become like a full-time YouTuber or anything like that. It's just that I genuinely think that there's more efficient ways, especially in 2023, to get people over the line, to set meetings first and foremost, and get them over the line in order to become a client of yours. So I've actually closed quite a few clients over the last like 7 days. And like I said, I've made like 21-ish K. And that's between, by the way, my online education business like e-traumatation and consulting, where I'm actually working with clients one-to-one style, done for you, done with you combined. It's kind of like a hybrid in between, which is why it's technically called hybrid agency. So without any further ado, guys, we're going to jump straight into my computer, and I want you guys to kind of like just relax, sit back, grab a piece of paper, just focus on what I'm telling you guys, because you can actually leverage this in your agency, whether you're running a service-based business, whether you're running a social media marketing agency, a more traditional one, if you're running a consulting business, a coaching business, an info product. This works if you have a frigging service, is what I'm trying to say. If you need to set calls and then jump on those calls to then close somebody on some sort of program, service, recurring service, this is genuinely for you guys, is what I'm trying to say. Now let's actually break down this statistic right here first and foremost, guys. So we're in my kind of computer here. So forgive my handwriting, by the way, it's going to be terrible, but I've noticed that it takes anywhere between 50 to 70 touch points, right, in order to actually get somebody over the line into a buying decision. That basically means it's going to take you around 50 times showing up in front of somebody's face, 50 to 70 times, right, in order to get them into a buying position where they actually consider buying from you. Do you know what that frigging means? That literally frigging means if you're doing cold outreach, right, if you're doing cold outreach, and this is what traditional people teach kind of like in their programs and stuff like that, which is actually good and it actually can work sometimes. But genuinely, if you aren't seeing the numbers that you were hoping to see, this is probably why. So most people, right, when they're teaching cold like outreach, what they'll do is they'll have like a follow-up sequence of like 3 to 5 cold emails or cold DMs. For example, you reach out to somebody, don't respond back. You then follow up with them like 2 days later, they don't respond back. Then you follow up with a final message. That's 3 touch points. Remember what I just said. Typically, on average, in 2023, it's taking anywhere between 50 to 70 of these touch points in order to get somebody to become, somebody who's going to actually purchase from you. And I know this is true because I literally have people that are probably watching this exact video right now, me saying this. They've actually watched my YouTube channel, right, since like 2020, for example, and they've watched my videos religiously, like 3 videos a week for the last like 3 years, and only now are they deciding to work with me via like my one-to-one program, my consulting kind of like agency, or just enrolling into e-traumatation. This is how you go about building a successful business, guys. Not only that, but with cold, there's a lot of barrier of entry. Let me explain why I genuinely recommend warm outreach over everything else. So cold outreach, don't get me wrong. And again, there's always going to be that one guy in the comment section, Jesus Christ, that's going to say like, cold outreach is working and it works if you've got a good system. And don't get me wrong, I genuinely think cold outreach can work. It's just that you need to have a really good offer, and you have to make sure, right? By the way, when I say a good offer, you're actually on a good offer when you actually start doing cold outreach and you're starting to set meetings like quite easily. It's kind of selling itself. That's when you know you've truly got a good cold offer. Most of the time, these gurus that you're listening to, though, that's talking about and preaching doing cold outreach, they're typically running ads themselves to get either clients or consulting clients or whatever it is. They're doing more warm content-y stuff. So why, instead of, listening to gurus, why don't you just follow what they're actually doing? Don't listen to what people say, listen to what they're actually doing. For example, like me, to build my consulting business, I drop videos on how to start an agency, how to start a consulting business, how to do this thing or that thing, and people can see my expertise, and I'm genuinely just showing them like what I know and what I've been working on and what I'm doing, like genuinely. And eventually what happens is, over a period of like 50 to 70 touch points, some people, they go through, I've literally seen people tell me on my calls that they've come across my YouTube videos like a year ago and they've watched my videos religiously. They went back through my entire channel and pretty much watched every single YouTube video. I've got 400 YouTube videos on this particular channel. So they've watched like 300, 400 YouTube videos on this particular channel. And then and only then have they considered working with me directly. And it's not like I've got a crappy offer. My offer literally states that if you don't get closed clients with us over a period of 90 days, and you actually do the work for 90 days, you don't get clients, we give you a full money refund. So we've got the big G, which stands for guarantee. We've already got the big G in kind of like a consulting business. So what is it? It's more about the touch points I've seen. It's especially in 2023. It's not. This is kind of crazy because I heard this way back from like I think it's like Gary Vaynerchuk. He said that it's like I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk. Don't quote me on this. It's not what you know. It's who you are. So sometimes it's not even about like I know for a fact there's people out there right now that don't even have YouTube channels that they would absolutely kill me when it comes to Facebook ads or running an agency, for example. Yet they've got no brand behind them. And it's not because I'm trying to like sell you on the SMMA stuff or sell you on Facebook ads or whatever it is, or you should start a Facebook ads agency or whatever it is. It's just simply because they haven't taken it upon themselves to grow a brand. Like quite literally, that's it. They haven't took the time. They haven't put the effort in. They don't want to help people. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're shy or whatever it is. So let's break this down real quick, guys. So it's not really what I'm saying to say. Obviously, you have to have the guarantee. That's a given. You have to have a good offer. That's a given. So I'm assuming you have all these things going into this. So bear with me here a second. So with cold outreach, here's reason why I actually recommend, right? You switch from cold outreach to warm outreach. I'll give you a quick couple of examples of warm outreach. Obviously, you guys know me for Upwork. So Upwork, right, is a freelance website where clients themselves go onto the platform and they identify themselves, aka they literally say, I'm a gym business owner and I'm looking for somebody to friggin' run my TikTok for me. It doesn't get any warmer than that. It cannot get any warmer than that because they're literally sat there on the platform. They've gone out of their way to create an Upwork account, an Upwork client account, to then write out an actual job posting, actually submit it and post it onto Upwork. And then they're sat there waiting for you to apply to their job. Look at how many stages they've had to jump through in order to get to actually posting that job. Then they're actually taking these applications and you apply to it, and then they end up in the evaluation phase. I've spelled that completely wrong. Evaluation, but you get evaluation stage is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let's move on to what's actually going on here, guys. So we've got cold outreach versus warm outreach, right? This is the reason why I really love warm outreach. Another warm outreach method would be like Facebook groups, FB groups, right? And the reason why FB groups are warm is because think about it, or even just building like your own profile. So Facebook groups / your own profile, right? Let's think about this. So with Facebook groups and with Facebook, what you can actually do is you can go into Facebook groups, paid groups and free groups, and there's going to be certain people in there that meet a certain criteria, aka if you're selling like a weight loss program or if you're selling social media services to real estate agents, you can go and join Facebook groups that have a whole bunch of real estate agents in them, and then you can add them onto your profile as like friends. This is your personal profile, by the way. Then what's going to happen is you're going to start building up an audience of people, and because they're actually on your personal profile, of course you're going to listen to me and put content out there. So now on your profile itself, right, your profile is going to actually have content on it. Imagine this is your Facebook page, this is your profile with a cover photo in the back, and then you've got your little timeline here. You've got content out there that's talking about your services for that particular niche. So you're actually going into Facebook groups, which, by the way, these are qualified people. These are quality people, quality prospects. And the reason why they're quality prospects is because they've taken it upon amongst themselves to actually say, look, I'm a real estate agent and we want to join this real estate marketing Facebook group. So now you've actually got people that are not only real estate agents, but they're into marketing. If you literally go right now, open another tab right now as I speak, go to Facebook and type in like real estate marketing or real estate Facebook ads. I'm guaranteed you'll see groups on Facebook that you can actually join right here, right now. Then what's going to happen again, this is obviously, it takes a little while to build this up, but make sure you're doing this every single day. It's going to compound over time, guys. You're going to thank me probably in like 6 to 12 months. Believe me, this is a crazy shit I'm talking about. So what you do is you start adding people to your personal profile. On your personal profile, you're going to take actual photos of yourself, like little thumbnails, like like pointing like this, and you're going to use something like Canva to like maybe add it a little graphic on there, like here's free tips for real estate agents. You don't even need the actual, what do you call it? It just needs to stand, your photos need to stand out. It needs to have like shock factor, almost like a thumbnail on YouTube. So just go and look at some really cool thumbnails on YouTube and just kind of like copy some of them and have those as content. And what you're going to do is you're going to take these photos of yourself or get someone to take it for you. And then what you're going to, you can even use selfies, guys. I've even seen people take selfies just literally sat there at the desk looking at something on a computer screen, and that actually works. Or they take little short form content videos, like maybe that are like 1 to 3 minutes long max. And then what you do is you actually just start breaking down certain pieces or just certain problems people have with their real estate business, with their Facebook ads, that sort of stuff. But make sure it's niche specific and related to your niche. And what's going to happen is when you actually start adding these people from the Facebook groups, these real estate agents, to your personal Facebook page, they're obviously going to start seeing your content here. What that's going to do is that's going to actually warm them up, and it's going to act as one of the touch points. So they're going to see you add them as a friend. That's already one touch point. They're then going to see your profile and see your content. That's probably like 2 to 3. I would say 2 to 3 different touch points. So now you're at, 3 touch points already. Then you're going to start, seeing your name over and over again every single time you actually start, creating content. So now you're actually building up all these touch points, touch point 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to touch point 50. Not only that, but you can actually send them messages and DMs once they added you. Of course, you can always do that, and I do recommend doing that. And this is why I genuinely think, right, that this is a much better way than just doing cold emails. Because with a cold email, think about it. A cold email is just a piece of HTML text. That's all it is. It's a piece of HTML text. You barely have a profile on that, and it doesn't grow and compound over time. Whereas building a profile, it grows and it compounds over time. I'm not joking. I just had somebody send me one of my old posts and said, I may be too late for this, but is this still open for enrollment? Basically, it's like an old post. It was on my Instagram. It was something like, comment the word 15K if you want me to send you over some sort of like a demo or whatever it was. And somebody must have, like 3 months later, sent me my own post on Instagram, sent me a DM saying, I don't know if I'm too late for this, but it's still open. Got on a call with them. I actually think I closed that particular person. So they actually came 3 months later, and I still was able to kind of like close them, which is actually crazy, by the way. So this works so much better because it actually compounds over time, and it has what you call a long half-life. Sending an email doesn't have a long half-life. When you send an email to somebody, that's it, it's done. I mean, you have follow-ups, but once your sequence is done, it's pretty much done. It's not like it's going to grow in their face over time, is what I'm trying to say. Well, that kind of sounded suspect. Oh, let's say no homo to that. But it's not like it's going to kind of like grow over time, is what I'm trying to say. For example, I can create this one YouTube video right here, right? And post it onto my YouTube channel. And this might get viewed 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line. So I've sat here and created this one YouTube video. It might take me 20 minutes to record this, and I send it over to my editor, so I don't even need to edit it. So I've done the work one time. Not only is it a one-to-many channel, a one-to-many basically means I record this piece of content, it goes out onto my YouTube channel, and then many people are going to watch this, right? Many people are going to watch this. There's going to be more outreach than what I could do in a day. Maybe it gets 100 views in the first day. That's still probably more outreach than most people can do in a day anyway. It might get 200 views in the first day. It might get 1,000 views in the first day. That's still more outreach than what you can do if you were to do like 1,000 emails in a day by yourself. Most people can probably crank out 50 positive, good quality outreach per day. So not only is it a one-to-many channel, for example, a cold call is, if you want to reach out to 1,000 businesses with a cold call, you have to literally individually ring 1,000 different businesses each one time. It's very difficult to scale that way. But if you've got a YouTube channel or you've got a Facebook page with actual like 1,000 or maybe even 6,000 people on there that are all real estate agents, and you put out a piece of content that can actually be seen by many hundreds of real estate agents that are all in your niche. You see the difference? You create the post once and multiple real estate agents have seen it. That's what you call leverage. That's what you call leveraging leveraging resources, leveraging time as well, because you do the work once and it's being seen by many people. Not only that, but like certain platforms, especially YouTube, for example, YouTube can compound over time. For example, I know right now, as I'm recording this, there are people watching my channel from all over the globe, right, that are interested into SMMA and may decide to work with me right here, right now, that are watching videos from like 2-3 years ago. Like right now as I'm speaking into this microphone, and I'm not even doing it. I wouldn't consider this work because I'm literally just making content for you guys and actually genuinely helping you guys. And like, if you steal this, please steal this, by the way. I know most of you won't though, because you're scared of friggin', and it's a challenge for you guys. When I say shit like you guys are scared to steal this shit and actually implement it, that's not me being harsh. That's me being like, you guys don't dare to steal this shit because like it's actually going to work, and you're gonna be like, okay, it actually fucking works. But anyway, guys, hope you do steal this shit. Not only that, but when it comes to warm outreach, especially platforms like Upwork, let me explain what's actually going on in the minds, right? So hopefully you understand those concepts I was speaking about before. Don't want to move on too quickly, but hopefully you can understand that, one-to-many channels are better than one-to-one channels. You want to focus on channels that compound over time. For example, if you build a LinkedIn page and you start building it over and over and over again with dentists on there, and you start adding more and more dentists every single day, eventually, like a year down the line, you're going to have a proper page where you can put out a piece of content and it's going to be seen by like hundreds of dentists out there. That's how you start building a proper business. And again, guys, I'm talking about SMMA here. So this, you can actually implement this for your SMMA. This is not just selling courses or some dumb shit like that, or selling consulting or anything like that, or coaching or whatever it is. This is literally real agencies you can actually build using this shit. Honestly, you can actually even start a YouTube channel doing this shit. Anyway, let's talk about why, right? And kind of like, not only why this works, but also why warm outreach works. And again, I don't know if warm outreach is a real thing. I just know that cold outreach sounds like, everybody knows what cold outreach is. Warm outreach is more when you've got like a brand behind you, almost like a platform behind you. For example, I'm just going to take Upwork and explain to you why it works, right? So let's actually take a look at the stages that goes through a prospect's mind when deciding to work with you and your agency. This is literally what's going on in their brain. If you can understand this bit, guys, I genuinely think you'll make money. So this is what's going on in people's brains, right? So first and foremost, people on Upwork, right? I'm just going to take Upwork for this this kind of like example because you can kind of picture this, right? So what's going to go on Upwork is there's clients on Upwork and they've become aware, right? That's the first word, awareness. They've gained awareness that they want some Facebook ads for their business. So these are business owners. They keep hearing about this Facebook ad stuff. They first of all thought it was a gimmick, but they kept hearing it on podcast or whatever it was, blah, 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 blah. They've become aware of this, or maybe they've heard it from a friend that their friend's really done well with Facebook ads for their dental business, and they've got a dental business too. So they've become aware, it doesn't matter which way or shape or form they become aware of your service, but they've become aware to, oh, there's this social media thing and social media marketing thing and these Facebook ads things that can actually help my business. That's what you call awareness. They've heard of it somewhere before. That's awareness, right? Then what's going to happen is they keep hearing this thing about Facebook ads over and over and over again, and they start to kind of like, their ears start perking up and they're like, okay, I'm actually starting to become interested in this. So interest starts building, interest goes up. So now they've gone from, just hearing about Facebook ads to actually being interested in Facebook ads. Now what happens is there's a couple of different stages, and this is just a typical marketing funnel, by the way, guys. Interest then starts turning into desire. So the interest, so it goes, they've heard about Facebook ads. They then become interested in Facebook ads. They then start desiring Facebook ads. Like, look, like this is actually sounding legit. This is genuinely like what I'm looking for. Facebook ads sounds like it's the thing. I'm actually desiring this. How do I go about this? That's when they come across places like, Upwork. Then what happens is desire turns to action. So action occurs, an action. So action is when they go out and actually take an action. They make a decision to do something. So action would be, they've come across these Facebook ads, they've from a friend, they keep hearing about this Facebook ad shit over and over and over again and how it can help their business grow as a real estate agent or dentist or whatever they are. Then they become like, they become interested in it. That interest then builds up over time and they become desired. They actually desire that said thing. So then what they do is they go out there, start looking for somebody that can actually do Facebook ads, or they try learn it themselves. They might try learn it themselves, do the Facebook ads themselves, and they failed. So then what they do is go to a place like Upwork to go and find somebody, and they've taken action. The action is they've actually tried the Facebook ads, it's failed. They've gone out there now to try and look for an actual freelancer on Upwork because they've heard about Upwork from, just typed in how to find a media buyer, Upwork will probably pop up, or how to find somebody to do Facebook ads for me, or hire a social media manager. And I'm telling you, like, hire somebody. The word hire, I think Upwork's always running ads to that word anyway, that particular key phrase. So Upwork will always pop up. Upwork's good at marketing and getting people on their platform anyway, put it that way. So action's taking place. That action then turns into kind of like evaluation. So people evaluate, and then what happens then is a decision is made. Money's being spent. So let's actually walk you through this. So somebody, let's call this person John. John owns a gym business and he wants to scale his business. He's starting to become aware from his friends who also have gym businesses in like a different country, like maybe in some networking, or he's in a Facebook group and he hears this people talking about Facebook ads and he doesn't really know what they are. He then keeps hearing this stuff about Facebook ads and how to get more gym members and gym signups for his business. He becomes interested in that, right? Then what happens is that interest turns into a desire, He then starts desiring these Facebook ads. This is John desiring Facebook ads. Then John decides to take action. Like he tries to Facebook ads himself, but it doesn't really work. So he's like, okay, let me go hire a specialist instead. He then comes across Upwork. Then they evaluate the stage. So evaluation is when they've actually gone onto Upwork. John's gone onto Upwork. He's posted out a friggin' job posting saying, I'm a gym business owner and I'm looking for someone to do Facebook ads. I've tried it before myself. It didn't really work. I'm going to need the expert to handle this for me. Then what's going to happen is people are going to start applying to that particular guy's job. You know, that's how Upwork works. They post out something like, oh, I need help with this. People then, you know, do outreach to that particular thing or send proposals. That's the actual word for it. People apply to his job. What's going to happen then is John's going to sit there and look at all these applications on his desk and he's going to pick the best one, which is evaluation. And then once he's picked the best one, he's actually going to just go and hire that best one. This is so much more of a smoother process than doing cold outreach will ever be. And here's why, and I can explain this logically and just with sound logic. The reason for that is because John himself has come to the own conclusion. First of all, he became aware by himself. His interest grew by itself. His desire grew by itself. And he himself went out of his own way to actually take action. And I think it's the cliche saying of like, people love buying, but they don't like to be sold. So what's happening here is, me personally, I don't think you can convince anybody realistically to do anything they don't really want to do. I mean, you can persuade people, but if they was always going to buy, they're probably always going to buy. If they weren't, they weren't. Don't force anybody to do anything. This right here, though, this method right here, this warm outreach method right here, this is actually warm, not cold, but you get the point. These people are actually coming to their own conclusion that they actually want these Facebook ads. So it's so much more easier to sell than that. The opposite way of doing this is cold outreach, where you're going and unsolicited. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like an unsolicited message to somebody. So somebody just chilling out the blue, and next thing you know, you got some dude called Montell in his DMs talking about, do you want to buy some Facebook ads off me? Or do you want to set up a meeting for Facebook ads? Or I can help you with Facebook ads. I mean, it can spark some interest if you got a good offer, but most of the time people are just going to say no. Not only that, but people have heard it all before. The best things I've noticed, guys, and just ask yourself this: when was the last time you bought something from a cold email or cold outreach message or a cold call? And then ask yourself, if you have bought a program before in SMMA, how did you go about buying that program? Let me guess that you did this. You came across a business model, that's awareness. You then become interested in that business model. You then start desiring that business model, aka you come across dropshipping, Amazon FBA, and you kind of like look into SMA because you think that's the one for you. So you become interested in SMA. You then start desiring to become an SMA owner. So you start watching all this content, you start taking action, you know, your desire turns to action, you start looking into all these different dudes on YouTube talking about SMA, then eventually you find somebody that you resonate with, which by the way is evaluation. Think about it. You evaluated. You might watch my channel, you might watch someone else's channel, but you might like me or someone else over me because you just resonate with that person. That's you evaluating. And then eventually what's going to happen is over time, you're going to become so interested and you have so much desire built up because of the content and the trustworthiness and the credibility that somebody might have built up, or even me have built up, which, you know, appreciate if I have, may have built up over time, that you end up making a purchasing decision with that person. It's the same thing with an agency. You can do this with an agency, guys. So guys, the next time somebody asks you like, what's the best outreach method, I can literally conclusively come to the conclusion that this is probably the best way ever. Think about it. Look at everybody right now. Look at Alex Amosi, look at Iman Gaji, look at all the dudes you look up to that have like maybe online programs or consulting businesses or really big agencies where they're doing lots of branding or running ads. It's the same shit, guys. It's the same shit. And to increase this, you just increase the awareness at the top and increase the interest at the top as well by doing more and more content and more warm outreach as well. So that means more touch points, guys. So hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit messy on this whiteboard. Hope you can understand what I'm saying though, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you can take something from this as well for sure, guys. This is very powerful stuff. Why do you think all the gurus are spending so much time on YouTube? And not even just gurus, just dudes in general that are smart. Like, it's not even about being a guru anymore. It's just about just being smart and leveraging tools that are actually beneficial to everybody. Like, quite literally, like making these YouTube videos not only beneficial to me because I learned speaking skills and I can genuinely land, you know, new people that I actually genuinely want to work with, but it also helps you guys as well actually make money from my free YouTube videos. So it's a win-win situation from me as well. And even YouTube friggin' wins because they can actually put ads on my YouTube videos. So it's a win-win overall, to be honest with you. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I'm blabbling on now. Watch this back because it's very important for sure. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Peace.